You know that feeling of being distant, separated from something or someone you know is good? It's a deeply human feeling. Well, the Apostle Paul tackles this very thing in his letter to the Colossians, and he offers this incredible message of reconciliation and hope, a way to finally bridge that gap. So let's dive in and see what he has to say.
Paul really doesn't pull any punches, does he? He starts with this incredibly blunt diagnosis of where we stand before God. And listen to those words: alienated, enemies. I mean, those are powerful terms. He's saying this isn't just about a few mistakes we've made, it's about a deep-seated hostility in our minds, a fundamental disconnect from our Creator.
So before we can really appreciate the good news, we have to sit with the bad news for a moment. We have to understand the problem. And this first part of our study explores that very condition, the one that's at the heart of the human story.
Look at how Paul builds his case here. It's like he's going deeper and deeper. It starts with a sense of being without strength, kind of powerless, and it escalates all the way to enemies, which is a state of active opposition. You see, this isn't just a laundry list of our flaws. No, it's a portrait of our natural state, an orientation of the heart that, on its own, is just turned away from God. This spiritual separation creates what you could picture as a giant chasm, and it's really the source of so much of the brokenness we see in the world and in ourselves. But here's the absolute key. It's a gap that we, with our own two hands, our own efforts, simply cannot cross. So how in the world does it get bridged?
Well, this is where the story takes this incredible, dramatic turn. Because the solution to this huge problem, it doesn't come from our side of the chasm at all. The initiative, the entire plan, comes from God.
Now, this is so important to get. While we were still in that state of hostility, enemies, as Paul put it, God made the first move. And the Bible is clear, this wasn't some kind of reluctant duty for him. It says it pleased him to do it, to restore that friendship. It's a reconciliation that's born out of this deep, proactive love.
So what does this restored friendship even look like? This quote just captures it beautifully. It's this incredible divine exchange. See, it's not about us suddenly becoming perfect. It's about Christ's perfect character being counted as ours. We're accepted, we're seen by God as if we had never sinned, never been separated from Him in the first place.
Paul kind of breaks down how this all happened. It's a really clear process when you look at it. First, God initiated the whole thing out of love. Second, Christ offered himself. This happened in his physical body, on the cross. It was a real historical event. And third, the goal of it all is our complete restoration so that we can be presented to God as holy and blameless.
And get this, the scope of this reconciliation is just staggering. Paul zooms the camera way out, from our personal story to the entire cosmos. He says this act of reconciliation wasn't just for us, but for all things. It's about restoring harmony to the entire universe, on earth and in heaven, showing God's love to all of creation.
Okay, so we've looked at the problem and the absolutely incredible divine solution. But what does that mean for us, right here, right now? Well, this gift of reconciliation, it's not just a one-time event in the past. It's the very foundation for our ongoing journey of faith.
Now, Paul introduces something really crucial here. He lays out a condition, but it's not about earning our salvation. Let's be clear about that. It's about our response. This gift invites us to participate, to actively receive it through a faith that keeps going, that perseveres on the journey.
Paul draws this really sharp contrast here, and I think it's something we can all relate to. On the one hand, you have a faith that's unstable, easily shaken by every new idea or every storm that comes along. But on the other hand, you have a faith that is grounded, steadfast, and unmovable because it's firmly rooted in the truth of who Jesus is and what he's done for us.
This image of an ancient, deeply rooted tree is just the perfect picture of what Paul is talking about. Our faith is meant to have these deep roots that hold us steady, not just when life is tough, but when confusing philosophies and ideas try to blow us off course.
Paul even talks about his own suffering in this context. And he's super clear. He is not adding anything to the finished work of Christ on the cross. That's complete. Instead, he sees his own struggles as a way of serving the believers, almost like he's drawing the enemy fire so that the young church can have a chance to grow strong.
So all of this, the reconciliation, the journey of faith, it's all building toward this grand finale, this huge revelation. It's a truth that Paul simply calls the mystery.
See, I have to ask, right? What is this mystery that was hidden for generations? It's this profound truth that was always there, just under the surface, but never fully grasped. But now, Paul declares, it has finally been revealed to God's people.
And there it is, the climax of this whole passage. The great mystery isn't some complex formula or a secret password. It's a simple and yet totally world-changing reality. Christ himself living inside believers. Christ in you, which is the hope of glory.
And this one simple truth just shatters all the old barriers. It means that God's salvation was never just for one small group of people. His plan was always for everybody. This open secret, as some have called it, is the incredible news that Christ living in us isn't just a nice thought for today. It's our personal guarantee of future glory.
So why does knowing this matter so much? It's not just for head knowledge. Ultimately, understanding this mystery is the key to our spiritual growth. It's what helps us become mature and steadfast, so we're not easily tricked by those deceptive ideas Paul was warning the Colossians about. And so we'll leave you with this to reflect on. Knowing that Christ himself is your hope of glory, not as a distant promise, but as a present reality living in you. How does that change things? How does it transform the way you face your challenges, your joys, and your journey, starting right now, today?